So really it was 10 years of me like in pain and not knowing what was going on with my body. And then things got a lot worse when like the back half of San Francisco and when I moved to New York and I just started going to so many different doctor's appointments and like I was diagnosed with things I didn't even have. Like I was diagnosed with autoimmune disorders and taking medications for them and I like didn't have it. And
Wow.
I was turned
It's
away
so
from
crazy. It's so crazy.
so crazy. Like women on average, it takes 10 years to get a diagnosis for endo. So like that was my timeline. And it's so sad to hear that. And a lot of the times doctors will turn you to like a psychiatrist or almost make you believe that your pain is in your head because it has to be diagnosed surgically. So it's that even adds another layer of complexity to get a diagnosis. So for me, it was a lot of being like turned away, kind of given medication to treat me for something I didn't have. And then I even started to doubt my pain. And I was like, is this even real? Is this something in my head? Just because I was shut down so many times.
That's so frustrating. And it's just so scary that, you know, you have to wait 10 years to get diagnosed with something that you're probably like, I could have been treating this 10 years earlier. I can imagine too, by the time the surgery option comes around, it's like on one hand, you're like, I'll do anything to figure out what's going on with me. But on the other, you're probably like, I've had so many inaccurate diagnoses that diagnoses?
Yeah, not diagnoses. That's made
I
up
knew what you
word.
meant.
You know what I meant? That it's like, is this just going to be another dead end? Like it must have been so emotionally and physically draining for you.
It was. I remember walking into NYU that day because you don't know until you wake up from the surgery if you have it or not. And I remember thinking, do I want to have this or do I not? Like, it's a weird thing because like I've gone through 10 years of pain and multiple years of going to appointments. And I felt like I finally kind of had an answer. This doctor had a really strong hunch I had it. But then I was like, wait a second, the reality of actually having it is a whole nother thing to deal with. So I didn't really even know how to feel. Like, am I going to be happy after this? Like if I go through the surgery and I don't have it, I'm just at another dead end. So yeah, it plays with your mind.
What has your journey been like since being diagnosed?
It's been an uphill battle, if I'm being honest. I have, good weeks and I have really bad weeks. I've been on so many different medications to try to get it into a place where it's controllable. I am at the point right now where they want me to have a second surgery. A lot of times women have 2 or 3. But because I'm 30, they want me to have it as close as possible to when I want to conceive. And the reason for that is because they go in and like clean up all that tissue that's not supposed to be there. So it puts you in like an optimal state to have a child. That is really hard for me because the only solve is something I can't even do at this moment in time. And the reason they don't want you to have too many surgeries is because they cause a lot of scar tissue. And so just right now, I kind of feel like I'm being pushed into a corner of just having to power through the pain and make the most of it. But it is challenging.